shopgear.com.
The following is a presentation of the Gear Radio Network.
From wherever we decide studios, broadcasted live on iTunes, Spreaker, and worldwide, this is the Turnbuckle Talk Radio Podcast with your hosts, the Crimson Cyclone himself, Cyclone Jones, and of course, the producer, Pat G. The G stands for gangsta. And now kick back and get ready for the eargasms.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know me, I know you, we know each other. 2019 is upon us. Turnbuckle Talk Radio Podcast. Cyclone Jones in the building. Along with Pat G. The G stands for gangster. Pat G. Tell him what it is.
It's the new edition of the TTRP here in 2019. First episode out, episode 61.
Whoa. What happened to episode 60? I've been waiting for episode 60 for at least 6 episodes. What the hell happened to episode 60?
Episode 60 was the episode you missed because you were on a secret super wrestling mission. That was the hot tag from Sergeant Fury.
Oh, you hot tagged it.
The year in review.
Oh, you hot tagged it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm cool with that. All right, continue.
You got so depressed for a minute.
A little bit. Because I was waiting for 60, man. I don't know why. Like, 60 was that number. I'm like, how the hell do you know these numbers, Pat G? 54, 55. I don't even know what damn day it is. And I'm lost on the damn numbers. But you knew the numbers. And I was waiting for 60.
Well, now you're going to have to wait for
70. Damn.
Hopefully you won't be on a super secret wrestling mission on 70.
Let me see. Hold on. If we calculate it out correctly, if we do these podcasts every week, I might be.
Oh, God.
I know, right? Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. 2019 is upon us, and unfortunately, we have to do a sad news break.
Because 2019 is a pain in the ass already.
That we have already lost 2 people who brought smiles to my childhood. One of them is Super Dave Osborne. Super Dave Osborne was that comedian daredevil that was out there doing God knows what and everything and making people laugh. He was bringing laughter, man. I mean, just crazy, crazy stuff. And it was a great time to be a kid watching Cinemax and Showtime. His specials used to come on Cinemax and Showtime. Did you know that?
I did.
You didn't. You were too young for that shit. Shut up.
I know who Super Dave Osborne is.
Did you know he had a cartoon?
I did not know he had a cartoon.
He did. Did you have a cereal?
I didn't know he had a cereal.
He did have a cereal, too.
You do have like 6 years on me.
I know,
okay?
I do, right? I know, I'm old. But ladies and gentlemen, the next person that passed away, I mean, and first and foremost, definitely rest in peace, Super Dave, Osborne. He, like I said, he was one of the guys that I grew up watching. Just putting smiles on faces.
One of the people that brought entertainment and laughter to the masses.
Exactly. I mean, comedians, that's what they do, especially when they're good. But one that really touches and pulls on my heartstrings is Mean Gene Okerlund.
I hurt when I saw that. I was like, no.
Yeah, like I didn't even hear about it until I logged into Facebook. And of course, you know how when the first thing pops up on Facebook, and it came from the actual owner of the Gear Network when I saw it.
Yes.
And he said, safe home, Mean Gene Okerlund.
That's how I saw it.
And I almost broke down at work, man. Like I knew the man. Never met him before in my life. Wish I did. But he was a great person to watch on TV.
He was the voice of interview.
He was the voice of WWE back then.
He was the voice. Yes, you had Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse Ventura and Bobby the Brain Heenan. Anytime there was something important in the locker room in an interview format, it was Mean Gene. Anytime there was something in the ring after the match promo, it was Mean Gene. At one of the biggest turning points of pro wrestling, Bash at the Beach 96, when Hogan turned heel, Mean Gene was there.
Yeah. I mean, Mean Gene and Hogan were like partners, man. They played off each other. It's kind of like me and you. You play off of me all the damn time. Whenever you saw Hogan in a backstage locker room interview, it was Mean Gene doing the interview.
It was Mean Gene.
And the first thing out of Hogan's mouth was what, Pat G? Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. I'm at a loss for words, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I lost a family member myself.
And they put up the article online and everything, and they talked about his last few appearances back in a WrestleMania with the Battle Royal with Bobby the Brain Heenan and then Legends House.
Right.
You know what? The Legends House cast has lost another one. Of course, last year, Roddy Piper.
Yep.
Now Mean Gene, and it's like...
And that's sad that they're actually gonna... don't do that.
I'm like looking at it and I'm like, don't do this 2019.
No, don't do that. Don't make me look at Legends House and start marking names off. Don't do that. We cannot do that. I don't want to do that.
No.
I can't do that. Definitely a sad time in pro wrestling, and beginning of 2019, we're only 2 days in, man. It's definitely a sad time in entertainment and in pro wrestling.
And
definitely.
Mean Gene was a very entertaining guy, even once he was off the camera and everything.
Yeah.
Anytime you saw him, or he'd make like a guest spot on like Legends Raw or the Anniversary Raw, he was always good.
Yeah, but the thing is, with Mean Gene, man, it seemed like he was just a genuinely nice guy. Like, he just seemed like he was just
absolutely
a nice guy. Like,
definitely,
like I said, from what I seen on TV, but that's the persona that he gave. So he, was just an awesome person, an awesome interviewer,
Yeah, he was the guy that a lot of people that if you wanted to become an interviewer, whether it was pro wrestling, whether it was sports, he was one of the guys that you tried to model yourself after.
Yeah, like me and my brother used to always, when we did our wrestling thing, we used to always do interviews, and he would either be Hogan or somebody, and I'd be Mean Gene, and we swap. I'd be the wrestler, and then he'd be Mean Gene, but it was just a fun time back then.
Yeah.
But definitely safe home, Mean Gene Okerlund, definitely.
Well, as they say, the Hall of Fame Ultimate Royal Rumble in Heaven just got their backstage interviewer.
They did.
A man who really needs no introduction, the host of Spotlight, the host of All-American, and man about town for the World Wrestling Federation, my friend, Gene Okerlund.
Let me handle it my way.
But you know what I'm going to do?
Hi.
I'm going to be a nice guy. I'm not going to insult you.
Who's this?
Fans, take a look at this. Can you believe that? Andre the...
Well, let me tell you something, Mean Gene. Well, you know something, Mean Gene. Well, you know Mean Gene. Well, you know something, Mean Gene. Well, let me tell you something, Mean Gene. I've always wanted to do that. I'm sorry.
Oh, what's this?
I've got more serious things on my mind to concern myself with than
You're laughing about this hat? You look like the doorman at the plaza, and you're laughing at my hat.
Yeah, you look like a boomerang salesman out of work.
You're looking for something from me? Forget it, pal.
Jeff City.
You still owe me $500 from the Denver game.
What Denver game was that?
You remember the Denver game that we bet on?
Please welcome my guest this week. He is accompanied by his manager, Paul Bear. Ladies and gentlemen, The Undertaker.
Oh, Mr. Okerlund. Mean Gene.
Exactly. Now, you use a ball to play cricket. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes. Very informative we are.
Hands up. So if you thought you missed out on it, you've got one more chance. You can join us next Sunday, April the 4th. I am talking about Macho Madness and Hulkamania, two mega powers meeting here tonight. Hulk Hogan, what is happening?
Well, you know, Mean Gene, we really don't know what we're dealing with here, man.
The Ultimate Warrior. Damn it, who put that up?
I thank you very much.
On to other events, Peggy.
Yes. Moving on. The reason you missed episode 60 was you had a super secret wrestling mission.
And you want to talk about that?
I do.
I didn't agree to talk about that on the air.
We don't have to talk about it, but I want to talk about it. You are the co-host of this podcast. And it was an opportunity for you to get a chance to see behind the scenes.
Right. It was nice. I mean, so ladies and gentlemen that are listening right now, I was invited to WWE. Raw and SmackDown, it was the taping, so it was done on Friday and Saturday in Detroit and Pittsburgh. It was an experience, man. It was amazing. I mean, there's been a lot of guys in the Western New York area that have, been invited. I'm not the only one. I'm not, super special that they, saw me and picked me. But, it was a blessing nonetheless to actually be invited to go.
And a solid way to end 2018.
It was an amazing way to end 2018 for me, man. I was blessed. I mean, I can't say any more about it. I was blessed, but with that being said, I've spoke to a lot of people there, actually shook Vince McMahon's hand.
Oh, wow.
That was the highlight of the night right there. In the SmackDown, I'm leaving. The Miz is talking to Vince. I had to walk down the hallway, and Vince is literally standing in the middle of the hallway. Okay. And I couldn't get by on the left side because there were big production boxes there.
Okay.
So I literally had to go through him and the Miz.
Oh, wow.
So I walk through and, I get right there and I say, excuse me. And he turns around and says, hey, kid, how you doing? Happy New Year. Thank you, sir. Happy New Year to you as well. It was amazing. Just amazing. And I looked at the Miz and he kind of kayfabed me, but it is what it is. That's why I wasn't here. I didn't put it on Facebook. I didn't put it on blast, because it wasn't, it's something that was super important.
Yes.
But I wasn't, going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. It's something that I was focusing on.
You know what? Honestly, yourself and a lot of other people from the Western New York area, when that happens, they've kept it very low key and quiet until it actually happened, and you either saw them or it was after the fact that they started talking about it.
Yeah. And that's the thing, I almost had an opportunity to be on TV twice. Unfortunately, they went a different direction. If I weighed 205 pounds, I would have been on TV.
That's what it seems to be. If you're in the 180 to 220 range, you're going to get on television.
Yep. A fun experience, man. It was great to see the people, even with seeing the superstars. I completely ignored that. I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in a positive way, because there's so many other different hands that make the production of WWE happen.
Yes.
It's not just wrestling. When I was there, I saw so many different things, and I'm not going to give out any secrets of the business, because that's not what you do. But I seen so many things that opened my eyes up, and I had conversations with people, and I said, yo, I didn't even know that you guys did this, this, and this. He said, yeah, man. He's like, it's a TV production. We have to do so many different things. It's not just wrestling.
Yeah.
And it opened my eyes and it opened my ears and my soul. It opened up every single pore in my body. It felt like I was back before I became a wrestler, when I was watching The Rock, and every single pore in my body opened up to watch him, to say, you know what? This is what I want to do. I want to be a pro wrestler. And it was the same thing. So to be behind stage and to meet all these people, I even had a conversation with Shane McMahon, about cutting promos. Mm-hmm. And, that was amazing. Just to sit there and just talk with Shane McMahon for a couple of minutes. It wasn't too long.
Yeah.
But, it was long enough to have a conversation that he heard me, I heard him, and it was great.
Oh, absolutely.
So with that being said, man, it was an awesome time. I definitely loved it. Definitely would love to go back. It's made me, in my mind, change a direction in my life with this business itself. Mm-hmm. And with that will come with time.
Of course.
Which, once that cat's out the bag, it will come with time, but it was an amazing experience.
Well, it had to be, because, like you said, we're fans, so we've gone to live shows and everything.
Yes.
You've seen the live shows, whether it's pay-per-view, whether it's Raw, SmackDown. You see the giant, road production television and all that, on lightings and stuff. But to see it from the stands and then see it from backstage, where you're actually backstage with everyone.
To actually walk through Gorilla Man is amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, to walk through that from the stands and you're watching the show, you're like, they're coming from Gorilla. Vince is back there. Michael Hayes is back there.
Michael Hayes, that man will never leave the 70s. He will never leave the 70s. He dresses like it's 1972 and will never stop.
Nothing wrong with that. All the people back there, you don't have that feeling. But when you get backstage and you can actually walk through there, you're like, wow.
Yeah. Like I said, there's so many different hands that are in the pot of pro wrestling company. I don't care who you are. You can't just sit there and say, I want to be a wrestler. There's so many different positions that go into wrestling that these guys, the wrestlers alone, can't do it without every single person there. And that's what opened my eyes, that wrestling just isn't just wrestling without these people. Samoa Joe wouldn't be Samoa Joe unless he had these people that were helping behind the scenes. Amazing. It opened my eyes, man. It truly did. It truly did.
It kind of gives you the thing of, okay, you have all your wrestlers, but you have all these people behind them from agents and writers and production people and a lot of people that are behind the scenes that bring wrestling to you. And speaking of behind the scenes, there's more people that are behind the scenes of a brand new company just announced on New Year's Day.
Yes, indeed.
That involves Cody Rhodes.
Yes, indeed. But we will talk about that after the break, won't we?
We will.
Ladies and gentlemen, Turnbuckle Talk Radio Podcast. We'll be right back. Let's pay some bills and let JC Money annoy the hell out of us as always. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cyclone Jones, and I am with Pat G. The G stands for gangster. And remember, the TTRP is sponsored by the Gear Network store through Amazon. If you visit shopgear.com, it's a little bit different. That's shop, GERE.com, and click on any of the banners. It will take you right to your account, and you can do all your Amazon shopping there.
When you shop Amazon and Amazon Prime, but Amazon kicks back a small percentage of your purchases back to us here at the Gear Network so we can continue to bring you the great program that you've come to know and love, like the TTRP, Turnbuckle Talk Radio Podcast, Better Live Than Dead, the FTW Podcast, the JC Money Show, and Trust the Podcast from the Gear Network. So that's shopgear.com. SHOPGERE.com for all your Amazon and Amazon Prime purchases from us here at the Gear Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Turnbuckle Talk Radio Podcast. Welcome to 2019. That's the name of the show today.
Welcome to 2019?
Welcome to 2019.
Why does that sound like the guy from Mortal Kombat?
Fight. But yeah, man. So we left off talking about a new promotion.
Yes.
A new wrestling company, shall we say.
Yes.
It is called
All Elite Wrestling.
And who is the owner?
The owner.
The CEO.
The CEO is the son of the owners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Tony Khan.
Yep.
But he's the head of the company.
Yes.
He's a longtime professional wrestling fan, and as I mentioned, he's the son of the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Shahid Khan.
Mm-hmm.
But the man that's going to be pretty much in charge is none other than Cody Rhodes.
The executive vice president. So
Yes.
I apologize. I may have said CEO before somewhere in this podcast, but he's the executive vice president of AEW.
Along with the Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson.
Yes. So that's awesome, man. I mean, with this new company coming up, there's only a little bit of people contracted.
Yep.
Cody's contracted.
Yep.
The Young Bucks are contracted.
Yep.
Brandy Rhodes.
Yep.
And Hangman Adam Page.
Yes.
These guys are already signed.
Yes.
And contracted to AEW. So right there, they have enough wrestlers to put a show on. Let's go. That's it. That's all they need.
That's all they need?
That's it. Cody can wear a mask. But
what are we doing? Old school independent wrestling
you got it.
Type shit?
You got it. So with that being said, with this company being started now, which their first show is going to be, I think it's called Double or Nothing.
Yes, I believe that's what it's called.
Yeah.
They're hosting a free Double or Nothing rally at the TIAA Bank Field, which is the home of the Jaguars, at 5 p.m. on January 8th.
Yep.
The cons are pretty much like the son is pretty much the financial backer and everything, because the net worth of the family is estimated at $6.3 billion.
$6.3 billion.
So, if anyone's, speaking of competition, if anybody was going to try to compete, try to compete with the WWE,
it would be this company right here.
You're looking at this company because they have the money.
And they have the talent.
Yes.
It's not like they don't have good talent. Or it's not like they have bad talent. They have good talent. It's not like Cody is going to put on a show that will be
lackluster.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me that word. I appreciate that. They're going to put down a well thought out card that will exemplify AEW.
And all you got to do is look at the All In event.
Yeah.
Granted, yes, there were minor hiccups here and there.
But it's a show. Of course,
it's a show. But you just have to look at that show right there that Cody and the Young Bucks put on and go, okay, you guys know what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. So with that being said, these guys are going to put on a hell of a show, hell of a card, and it's going to compete. How much it can compete, we don't know yet.
There is, according to Dave Metzler, who's not the greatest source of information in the wrestling world.
He's not.
There are multiple offers on the table for TV.
Ooh.
There are multiple offers on the table for television. And they do have the relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling that they'd like to continue. Mm-hmm. Although the relationship with ROH seems pretty much like a burned bridge.
Ooh. And see, with ROH being, how can I put this? ROH is a great company. They really are.
It is.
But to burn a bridge with a newly starting company, I feel as though with the company that it's going to be, with its projected that it's going to be, should I say,
yep,
is not a good idea in my eye. Because they can do a partnership and they can blow the bigger company out of the water. Well, I take that back. Not out of the water, because that's a well-oiled, huge machine.
Well, they
can bring back the competition.
Yeah,
of elder days.
The main reason that ROH and AEW are most likely will not be working together is most likely look at each other as direct competition.
Well, ROH is snatching up the independents.
They are.
WWE snatching them up as well.
ROH is starting to lock up guys into actual contracts.
Right. Because now the pool is starting to get thinner.
Yes.
Because everybody's snatching. Because the independents are now being watched.
Yep, they are.
The independents are now being seen and watched.
Your top companies in certain areas of the world. Mm-hmm. And to just talk about the area we are, your ESWs.
Yep.
Your Smash Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
NOWs out in Ohio.
Yep.
Your LPW. Numerous companies up and down. Pro Wrestling Takeover out in Maine.
Yep.
There's numerous companies in the Northeast that are being watched that now guys are going, okay, well, we've got all these guys from the independents, your Kevin Steens, your Sami Zayns, so on and so forth. Where's the next crop?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is talent is getting younger.
Yeah.
And they're getting faster
mm-hmm.
and putting on better matches. And you also have all these wrestling schools. Lance Storm's up in Canada.
Yep.
You have Tyson Dukes.
You got Tyson Dukes.
You have Grapplers Anonymous.
Yep. You got the Devon.
You have the Dudley's boys.
Dudleys.
You have Dudley's and Booker T school down in Texas.
Yep.
Of course, you have various other schools around the country.
Mm-hmm.
And even in Canada. It's the thing of people are now looking at going, okay, back in the 70s and 80s, it wasn't this thing of knowing somebody to get into the wrestling business.
Mm-hmm.
It's now the thing, okay, you're an 18-year-old kid, you want to be a pro wrestler? There's plenty of avenues for you to go learn how to become a pro wrestler and build yourself up.
Right.
Which a lot of people are now doing.
Mm-hmm. And that's the way to go now. That's the way of the business. The business is actually recognizing now independence. It's now recognizing the people that were trained by this little guy, or even the people that were trained by, the bigger schools and the bigger names, so it's something that's actually being looked at and they're picking the crop.
Yes.
So there's gonna come a point in time, ladies and gentlemen, and any wrestlers that are listening, that crop is gonna be done being picked, until the next crop is ready. So I mean, I don't know when that is. I don't know when it will be, but it will be at some point in time.
That's true, because just look at WWE over the last 5 to 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
That crop that was on the independents, your AJ Styles, your Samoa Joes, your Kevin Scenes, your Sami Zayns, your Dean Ambroses, your Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, those guys that were doing the independents and everything. Hell, even Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Like, over the last 10 years, WWE's following these guys. All of a sudden, WWE's finally giving them their chance. Now they've been in WWE. Now you're looking at the next crop of talent that has been learning and training and building. That next crop is getting close to starting to get picked. And the thing is now you have numerous avenues to go. You have New Japan. You have ROH. You have Impact Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have AEW.
Yep.
Like, there's numerous. It's getting back to the thing of, yes, the territory days may be long and dead. Now there's options for somebody to go to.
Yep. There is now. There definitely is now. And that's a great thing. I mean, it's great for AEW, because now it's a hungry new company that can actually sit back and say, all right, let's see who wants to work for us now.
Yep.
And they can get the young new talent that's not trained for the corporate scene just yet.
Oh, absolutely.
Because once you make it to WWE, that's a corporate thing. Please understand that.
Oh, yeah.
That is a corporate move. You are making a business move.
Yep.
That is going to white collar professional wrestling. Like if you work at Indies, you're a blue collar wrestler.
Yeah. You're working for yourself.
You're working for yourself. You're down and dirty. You start singing Dusty Rhodes song, You're just a common man. But once you make it to the WWE, then you're white collar now.
Yep.
That's exactly
you're
what it is.
You're working for the machine.
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that. Please understand that. I've said that before. But the thing is that with working for AEW, you are starting to be seen now. That blue collar work that you were doing on the independents is now being recognized.
It is.
So with that, to watch this company unfold is going to be amazing. We're definitely going to keep our eyes on it. We're definitely going to report back about it.
Oh, absolutely.
All the time. Hopefully we may be able to get Cody Rhodes on the show.
That would be awesome.
So we will definitely work on that as well. Anything is possible.
I don't know. It's 2019. Anything and everything is possible in pro wrestling nowadays.
You doggone right. So with that being said, we should be all set. What are we going to do now, Pat G? We're going to go talk about some independence or no? We did break it off at the independence, right?
We did. We're gonna talk some more independent action coming up. A lot of shows in the first 2 weeks of January going on. Hell, January itself has got a lot of shows going on.
Yes, it does.
For independent pro wrestling.
Yes, it does. I mean, this weekend I even defend my heavyweight championship.
You do defend your heavyweight championship. We're going to take a break, pay more bills.
Got to hear JC Money's voice again? Maybe. I don't think he'll. I mean, it all depends on what.
It depends.
It depends. You're the producer. You're going to put those in there anyway. We will be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cyclone Jones, and I am with Pat G. The G stands for gangster. And remember, the TTRP is sponsored by the Gear Network store through Amazon. If you visit shopgear.com, it's a little bit different. That's shop, GERE.com, and click on any of the banners. It will take you right to your account, and you can do all your Amazon shopping there.
When you shop Amazon and Amazon Prime, but Amazon kicks back a small percentage of your purchases back to us here at the Gear Network, so we can continue to bring you the great program that you've come to know and love, like the TTRP, Turnbuckle Talk Radio podcast, Better Live Than Dead, the FTW podcast, the JC Money Show, and Trust the Podcast from the Gear Network. So that's shopgear.com. ShopGere.com for all your Amazon and Amazon Prime purchases from us here at the Gear Network.
The crowd cheering, Cyclone, Cyclone. You heard them. This segment right here is from the stands.
When don't you put your damn self over?
I always put myself over.
Are you going to get actual cheers saying Cyclone for me?
Now I will.
For that?
For the production?
Yeah.
Yeah, now I will.
Okay.
Now I'm going to have to now.
Just making sure. Because I'm going to have to find people, like, chanting Cyclone.
I will.
You know it in.
You know what? Listen, I have a show this weekend. And before the show, before my match starts, I will have people chanting Cyclone for you. Promise.
Okay.
So that means we'll be able to get this show out probably next week.
Well, what if I wanted to get the show out like tomorrow?
Like tomorrow? Okay, well, you got to wait then. You got to chant Cyclone then. Your mama chant Cyclone for me, won't she?
She will.
Giggity. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that diversion because Pat G, wants to say stuff. We got people on hold waiting to talk and you just want to talk. Anyway, from the stands, you know the segment when we bring somebody in who's not a pro wrestler, who is a fan themselves, and we talk wrestling with them. Today we have on the line Kevin. What's going on, Kev?
Not much. What are you doing?
I'm doing a podcast, Kevin.
I was not one of the ones chanting Cyclone, so I apologize for that.
So you didn't know? You didn't know it was... I can't with you. Can we get somebody else on the line?
Everybody else was chanting, and I just wasn't. I couldn't get into it.
Can we get somebody else on the line?
I don't know. I don't know if we can.
It's too late.
It's too late now. You're on the line. But ladies and gentlemen, this is from the stands. Like I said, we got Kevin on the phone. Today we're going to talk about pro wrestling in 2019. Now, Kevin, you know WWE. You've been watching WWE for quite some time, right?
Pretty much, I watched the first WrestleMania. My parents ordered the first WrestleMania. And I don't know if it was the first one. I think I started with the second one on pay-per-view, but that's how long I've been watching, at least WrestleMania 2.
Wow. So with the world of wrestling right now, you have WWE, you have Impact Pro Wrestling, you have Ring of Honor Pro Wrestling, and just like we spoke about last segment, me and Pat G, we talked about
a new promotion,
and that name is, what is it again?
All Elite Wrestling. All
Elite Wrestling as the CEO, Cody Rhodes. So with those 4 wrestling companies being out, how do you feel about the state of pro wrestling right now?
Well, it's very interesting because there's a lot of, as you stated, there's other organizations out there, but one has got to get some juice behind it to have any kind of chance to get up into the big street. I mean, there's bigger events at All In. There's big events happening outside of the WWE right now. But at the same point, I really think a lot of these organizations have to get maybe combined into one possibly, and just to have some kind of competition going with WWE. That's the best wrestling we've ever seen has been when WWE has had competition. And right now, on a grand scale, on a TV scale, something that, a lot of other fans other than just wrestling fans talk about, there's not a lot of that going on right now. So
yeah,
you need more of a TV presence for these other organizations. And unfortunately, you didn't name 3 other ones besides WWE. If you can, you never know. If you can somehow start getting these into the top wrestlers into one other organization, put on one good show, I think they could give WWE a run for their money. But we'll see how it goes.
Okay. So with that being said, that's a good statement. I really like that. But my thing is, if you had to combine 2 of the 3 companies that aren't WWE, All Elite, ROH, and Impact, which 2 would you combine?
Well, I don't know much about the All Elite, honestly. I mean, I heard about it.
Well, they are a new company. They are a new company. You already know Cody Rhodes is on the roster. You already know the Young Bucks are on the roster. You already know they're going to have a lot of Japanese talent on the roster as well. I mean, you got a lot of super indie fans out there that are going to be on the roster.
Absolutely. And I think one of the big things is, they have to draw in, at least to start, they have to draw in some talent that were members of WWE but now are not. And there are some bigger name free agents out there. And I think just to at least get it started, just to at least draw in some WWE fans, you have to get guys like Cody Rhodes who they know. Not all fans are fans of the Independents, and you got to get them to start watching your product. So at least to begin with, you have to get a few of those free agents that are out there that WWE left behind. That are talented individuals, but for one reason or another couldn't get a leg up in WWE. But still WWE fans know their name. So you got to get them. You got to get them front and center, at least to start with, while you develop younger talent.
Okay. I mean, but so back to the question of which two companies would you combine now?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I would say at least at the beginning, well, I think anything you start with has to have Cody Rhodes in it, so I would definitely start with that. And I'm not really sure. I mean, I would probably say Elite and Ring of Honor. I think Impact, Impact, they have their history, and I think you have to start fresh. So I would say Ring of Honor and the Elite, the new ones.
Wow. Okay. That sounds pretty good. I kind of like that answer. Now, Peggy, question for you. Mm-hmm. Does Jeff Jarrett still own Impact Wrestling, or is he still back into it again?
No.
He dipped out again?
No. Jeff Jarrett has no affiliation with Impact Wrestling
anymore. Okay.
In any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
And from what I've seen as far as Ring of Honor and All Elite, which All Elite is hosting a rally next week, Tuesday on the 8th, for more information. All Elite and Ring of Honor will not have a relationship in any way, shape, or form.
Right. Well, that was a hypothetical question. You don't got to shoot down his answer.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, All Elite's not All Elite. Like, I'm going off like how he's wants WWE names. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's guys out there that were in the WWE, but if they're affiliated with Ring of Honor in any way, shape, or form, they're probably going to be not used.
Right.
Then that opens up New Japan as well, because New Japan's basically putting on their WrestleMania in 2 days,
right?
With Wrestle Kingdom.
Okay.
But the thing is Impact has no affiliation with Jeff Jarrett. It's owned by Anthem Media, and
cool beans.
At the end of the day,
cool beans. So, Kevin, with that being said, with the state of WWE right now, after they've already acknowledged that yes, they haven't had a good run with what they were doing, and they're going to give the power back to the universe. What do you want to see in the WWE? What changes?
When they say they're giving it back to the fans, I just wonder who had it to begin with.
Exactly.
But honestly, they got to let these guys. I think they really just got to get back to letting these guys really kind of sink or swim on their own, come up with their own characters, doing their own promos. You talk about. People always talk about how they hate when Roman Reigns picks up the microphone, but there's been times where I think he's just been speaking, kind of off the top of his head, and he's been pretty good. There was times early on where Vince will give someone a character and it doesn't work, and then they just kind of let the guy go out and do their own thing, and it works. And I think they just have to give a little more power to the wrestlers themselves. Just let them develop their own characters. Let the show be funny again. If they got guys that are funny, like Edge and Christian used to be, you got to let that happen again, because it's rare where I laugh at the show now. It's just kind of that forced humor, if anything.
Right. But something that I heard while I was on my super secret mission is that funny doesn't make money.
It does not.
Funny is good. There's always a place on the card for funny. There always is. But you will never see a funny wrestler as a heavyweight champion.
No, and I definitely don't want that. I don't, you don't need another Santino Marella, but at the same point, you need elements of that too. It's part of entertainment is, humor is part of entertainment. And I'm not saying, make the whole show a comedy show, but, I'd like to see elements of that. And, I'd like to see elements of a lot of things that just don't really show up anymore, like they used to. And, if there's guys out there that can be funny and talented, that's just a bonus to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, the reason that you don't see those elements that you used to is the change of the times. Mm-hmm. And this is the thing: is there's a lot of people who are like, why can't they go back to the Attitude Era? Blah, 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 blah. You have to look at the world we live in,
right?
That's true. And I've noticed this only because I've been watching the old WCW Nitros and WWE Raws from like the early 90s into the Attitude Era and into the early 2000s at times. Stuff that worked back then isn't going to work now because, one, WWE is a publicly traded company. Mm-hmm. They answer to their sponsors.
Right.
Their sponsors are the main people that run what the WWE does. So, yeah, while they get away with some things, you're never going to see things that you saw 10, 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm. No, and I think a lot of that is good. I don't want them to go back to an era that's bypassed because, the Attitude Era had its place and it was great at the time, but they have to get their own thing started. And that's another thing I think Vince, or I'll just say the McMahons have to do is, you watch the WWE Network, you see these old guys coming back and in some cases beating up the new talent. And it's like, you got to stop living in that past. I mean, how would the Attitude Era have went if, Jimmy Snuka came out and beat up Austin the first match he had? I mean, you got to let these guys have their own time and stop living in that past.
Really? You brought up Snuka? Really?
Yes, I did.
You brought up Snuka? Really?
Why?
I don't know. Didn't Snuka kill somebody?
He was reported that it had. And actually, I think they were going to put him on trial.
Yeah, they were going to put him on trial, but he passed.
But he passed away, and they also deemed him mentally
unstable. Anyway, okay, I was just saying, Snuka. But anyway,
I'm sure he was mentally unstable a long time ago. But
he did get hit with a coconut upside the head.
That's true.
Yeah. But so with that being said, with WWE's platform, who are you, or do you watch the indies at any point in time? Do you see any indie wrestlers that you know of?
Not many. I'm trying to get back into that now. I just haven't had time. I've been working 2 jobs, so I haven't had time to watch a lot. But I'm trying to get back into that right now via YouTube whenever I can.
Yes, not a problem. So then I repackage the question and say, out of the roster of WWE right now, out of 3 people, who do you feel as though should be getting a run for any title? Just somebody that should be getting a chance.
I think right now, Drew McIntyre. I was a big fan of him the first time he came around, and I was very disappointed when he left. And he's come back, and he's been doing great. But I don't know how that's going to go moving forward. It's just I don't think really they have anybody that's going to challenge the Universal Champion until he's out of there. So
yeah, let me just say this.
I'm a big fan of Drew.
Then let me say this: Drew McIntyre is a massive mountain of a man.
He is.
Yeah. Like personally, he's a massive mountain of a man. But okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Number 2?
Well, Finn Balor. I've been a huge fan of him for a while now. I was really hoping for more of hoping for more things out of him when he first came around. But it started to pan out, but then he was injured, and then he came back, and it's kind of been back and forth. But I've always been a huge fan of Finn Balor, so. But it's tough. Obviously, he's a smaller individual, so we all know how Vince does with that. So,
yep.
But I'm hoping for more out of him. He's just got one of those guys that has to stick to it for a little while. But he's someone who should have had a long run with at least the Intercontinental Championship by now. Would have been great, but right now, nothing.
Yeah. All right, and number 3.
Number 3. I'm trying to think of a third person. I'm trying to think of like a lesser known person that could get a shot. I would say, not that this person's lesser known, but Samoa Joe. That's someone who I really think they could have done more with, just coming out and destroying people and, just, I don't know. He's the type of person that I think should have had maybe a Paul Heyman type with him. Not that he can't cut a promo, but I think Samoa Joe's the type of guy who shouldn't be talking. He should just stand there. He should just come out and beat people up and leave. And I want to see more out of him going forward, definitely.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you, sir. We truly appreciate it. Thank you for joining us on From the Stands.
Well, thank you for having me.
Not a problem. Next time we'll get somebody. Never mind.
That's not hard to do. I know what you're going to say. It's fine.
But, sir, thank you, sir. We truly appreciate it.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final countdown. Turnbuckle Talk Radio Podcast. Thank you for joining us for this time. You've been with us. We truly appreciate it. On to the last segment of the show.
Yes.
Independent wrestling.
Tons of shows.
Tons of shows happening. How are we going to start this off, though?
So,
you just going to talk?
Yeah.
All right. We'll just talk.
January 5th.
Yeah.
This upcoming Saturday.
Yes.
You defend your heavyweight championship.
I do. You want to tell me who? Where? How? When?
Do you know who it's against?
I don't know who it's against at this moment in time. It doesn't matter. I'm a fighting champion.
You are.
I'm a fighting champion.
Cyclone punches for everyone.
Yep. My Cyclone punch does not discriminate. I am going to Ultimate Wrestling. I am the new Ultimate Wrestling Heavyweight Champion.
You are.
I am. I will be defending my title. I honestly, regardless of the fact of how you feel about Ultimate Wrestling and regardless of the scandals that's happened previously and everything that's happened before, 2019
is a change.
I am going to look to make a change for Ultimate Wrestling. Now, I'm not looking to make a change for any of the boys that, have disrespected the company or, talk trash about the company. That's their own opinion.
Okay.
I can't change that. But going forward, I'm going to make a conscious effort to try and change the stigma of Ultimate Wrestling. And with me being the heavyweight champion at this moment in time, I have the opportunity to do so.
You do.
Now, I did speak to someone about my plan, and they are not a fan of Ultimate Wrestling. And they said, they gave their opinion,
of course,
and that's all I asked for. And they said that, it may be a lost cause, and they might be right, However, I'm going to give it my all, and I'm going to try and fix the stigma that Ultimate Wrestling has.
You have to try.
And like I said, with me being the heavyweight champion at this moment in time, I do have that opportunity
you have to try. So. Another show that's happening this upcoming Saturday, January 5th, is out in Toledo, Ohio, as NOW presents Uprising 23 Fallout. It's Northwest Ohio Wrestling. They've announced their card for the show.
Mm-hmm.
Some matches that you're going to see the NOW Uprising champion Cassidy Keith will be there in the house to talk about what's next for him and his championship.
Cassidy Keith?
Yep, Cassidy Keith.
He's like the longest reigning NOW champion right now.
I believe he is.
He's like 483 days straight right now.
Something like that.
Yeah.
The NOW Cruiserweight Championship will be defended as Justin Pilgrim makes an open challenge to anyone in the Cruiserweight division. The NOW Tag Team Champions will be in action in non-title action as Wet Dream, the champs, defend against the Mosh.
Ooh.
The Fight for Fortune briefcase holder, Eric Emanon, will be in action.
Okay.
For those who aren't familiar with the Fight for Fortune briefcase, basically Money in the Bank.
Okay.
From my understanding.
Yep.
The Destroyer Everything, Terrell Kenneth, will be in action.
Okay.
And in your main event, the heavyweight Championship, the NOW Heavyweight Championship. The champion, Chris Chambers, defends against the number one contender, Project Brewington, after Brewington faced 8 other men in a tournament and won the match.
All right. Sounds like a good show. I mean, so if you're definitely in the Ohio area, you definitely want to check them out. You know, when is that? The 12th, right?
That is the 5th.
That's the 5th. It's this Saturday.
Well, going on to the 12th, of course, you're going to have UPW.
Yeah, you are.
UPW is going to have their show.
Yeah, and they have a Matt Cross seminar.
They do.
Matt Cross is going to be in the show.
Yep.
On the roster for the night. And he's doing a seminar before the show. Any experienced wrestler wants to learn from Matt Cross, who has done the WWE Tough Enough, who's done the WWE NXT tryouts, who's worked for, has he worked for TNA?
I believe he's been in Impact Wrestling.
I think he's been in Impact Wrestling.
He's been in Lucha Underground
and
as well.
Lucha Underground. You know, like, this man has done it all. Like, you definitely want to be there for this show, and at least for the seminar.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, the seminar alone, you know, if you are a pro wrestler who wants to learn, you definitely want to get to that seminar.
Absolutely. Some of the matches on the card, you're going to see the No Limits champion, Colin Delaney, defend his title against Bam Bam.
Is he too cute, Colin Delaney? Or he's just Colin Delaney?
I think he's just Colin Delaney.
Okay, he's just Colin Delaney.
The Wrestling Liberation Front will be facing The Process.
Okay.
You're gonna see Nick Ando take on Jay Freddy.
All right. Heavyweight championship match. This is going to be a good match right here.
Yep.
This match is going to be amazing right here because one of my good friends, Black Lavender, Lionel Knight, he lost his title.
He did.
He lost it to the one and only Icon Ace, who I've beat several times. Icon Ace has the UPW Heavyweight Championship right now. Lionel Knight is cashing in his rematch clause.
He is.
This is going to be a fight that you definitely don't want to miss.
And also, UPW is honoring the career of Gabriel Saint and inducting her into the Hall of Fame.
That's going to be awesome as well.
Absolutely.
Definitely want to check that out.
And like you said, Matt Cross will be there. Flipping back to Ohio now for January 12th.
Again, back and forth. We're going back and forth, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned.
We are. LPW, Live Pro Wrestling Entertainment, presents the Fight for the Right 3.
Yeah.
It is their Fight for the Right. The winner gets a championship match at the LPW Heavyweight Champion, which currently is Mysterious Movado for those who don't know, who defeated Superman Lover in very quick fashion last month. After Superman Lover destroyed a child's toy, beat up Santa Claus. The general Superman Lover hates Fremont stuff.
Of course.
Also, you will be making your return to LPW.
I will be.
As you enter this Fight for the Right.
Listen, man, the Fremont friends, say that 5 times fast.
Yeah.
The Fremont fans have been sending me emails, sending me text messages, sending me Twitters, sending me vlogs. They sent me, what's the thing that WWE used to use? I can't even remember.
Tout.
They've been sending me touts, everything. They want me back there. So, me being Cyclone Jones, man, I can't deny that. I have to go back.
Well, you know who else is going to be in this fight for the right?
Who is?
Our boss, JC Money.
You're lying.
I'm not lying.
You are lying.
I am not lying.
I'm punching him directly in the face.
JC Money is entering the Fight for the Right Battle Royal.
Directly in the face.
It has been confirmed.
Square in the face.
Square?
Square in the face. Like the square?
Yeah.
4 sides? Square right in the face.
Right in the face.
Yeah.
But yeah, I figured you'd be happy that you could finally get to...
Yeah, I get to knock him the hell out.
Yep. Also, you're going to see the continuation of the LPW Tag Team Championships. I'm not sure if they're going to be defended or not, but the Tag Team Champions, the IndyCar Mafia, facing the longest reigning LPW Tag Team Champions in history, the Dirty, who made their return last month.
My boys. The Dirty's winning regardless, hands down.
They made their return
I am fans. I am fans. More than one me I am fans of the Dirty.
You are fans of the Dirty.
I am.
You'll see Tim Horner Jr. announce that he's entering the fight for the right.
Pish posh.
And of course, Ben Boone has.
Pish posh.
Many LPW stars has announced that they're throwing their hat in for the fight for the right battle royal.
Pish posh applesauce.
Cyclone punches for everyone.
Cyclone punches for everyone. Like I said, it doesn't discriminate.
Well, and then we're flipping back to New York.
January. The next week.
January 19th.
The 19th.
ESW
presents
A Night at the Johnsburg.
A Night at the Johnsburg. Like that echo there he gave you?
You did. I did.
No, you didn't, liar face. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a match, a show that's going to be awesome. Do you know why? Because I'll tell you why. Because my baby. Oh my gosh.
You were getting so emotional over here.
So emotional. Oh, Victoria.
Yes. Lisa Marie Varon.
Victoria.
Formerly known as Victoria of WWE fame, will be taking on Impact Wrestling's Allie.
She will be in Buffalo, New York.
She will be.
Oh, it's so awesome.
She will be.
I'm wiping tears away.
Also, you're going to see the Ilio DiPaolo Cup rematch of Brandon Thurston taking on Daniel Garcia.
That's going to be a match that is going to be freaking amazing. I don't give a damn. Honestly, I really do not give a damn what other matches on that card. That match right there, and no disrespect to anybody else on that roster, but I honestly believe that match is going to steal the freaking show. Hands down.
Well, also, you're going to see Zachary Wentz debut.
Oh, wow.
You're also going to see the ESW Tag Team Championships being defended as Vince Valor and James Sega takes on Handcrafted of Gregory Iron and RJ City. You're also going to see the ESW Heavyweight Championship being defended as the champion Pepper Parks defends against the former champion Kevin Bennett.
And this is the last time.
Yep.
This is it. Like, this is where they leave everything out on the table. Every single marble, every single toy is coming out on the table, and they're utilizing everything. This match is not for the faint of heart. This is going to be teacher versus student, blow for blow, like Rocky and Tommy Gunn. This is going to be it right here. Somebody's getting their ass whooped.
And speaking of ESW in February is making their debut in Rochester, New York.
Now, see, this is where an independent fed becomes super indie, because they have the means of now being able to expand. And this is what I've been saying. You can go back and check episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
There's a lot of episodes.
This is exactly what I've been saying for the longest time with all these other rinky-dink promotions. You need to model the ESW model that they have. The ESW company. I've been saying that. Scared money don't make money. ESW has the plan to do everything, and they're doing it. And they have the roster now. They've already established themselves as a great company to work for. So now they have the roster. Yep. Now they have the backing of different wrestlers from the Grapplers Anonymous. Because if you come out of there under Pepper Parks and Brandon Thurston, you're immediately seen as somebody who knows what the hell they're doing. So you can go on the ESW, which can bring you on to bigger companies. This is how it's supposed to be done, but you bastards did not listen to me when I told you this.
And that's like talking over the last 2 years.
I told you this.
Well, speaking of Rochester,
so I'm sorry. I apologize. I got caught up in that right there.
You did.
I got emotional with that.
You did.
Like ESW. Like, I don't work for ESW. I don't. Nope. But I respect
what they've done.
Great business.
Yep.
I respect it to the fullest because I keep telling people this business that you're in is a business. It's not play wrestler. It's not the, I want to go here and do a super kick off a top rope with a superplex. No, it's a business. Treat it as such.
Yep. Well, they're making their debut in Rochester at the Regional Sports Center, and they've announced some talent that's already going to be there. the Butcher and the Blade.
Butcher and the Blade.
The ESW heavyweight champion, Pepper Parks, and his tag team partner of Every Time I Die, Andy Williams.
One of my newest, greatest tag teams this year right now.
Also, Rob Sweet returns to ESW.
I beat him a couple of times.
You have.
He beat me too, though.
And also, a name that a lot of people have been pining for ESW to get and to get.
Whoa! You gotta build this up, Pat.
Okay, all right.
Credit. Give the man his due.
All right.
This man has been waiting to be in the ESW locker room and roster.
And grinding.
This man has been doing everything possible to better himself in the professional wrestling business.
He has.
ESW has finally decided to come to a Rochester area.
Yep.
And now they actually see the potential in being in Rochester, and they have no choice but to acknowledge.
The fans have been asking for it.
They have no choice but to acknowledge this man's accolades and everything that he's done. The punk rock supernova, Eric Emanon, who I have Cyclone punched.
You have. I feel like, who haven't you Cyclone punched?
I'm going to put myself over. I don't give a damn. Like I gave him that big intro, that awesome intro. I'm gonna put myself over.
You gotta put yourself over on. Just
but that's the business, though. That's the business. You build somebody up and you put yourself over just by a little bit.
Yep.
And ladies and gentlemen, you know how we end the show. It's a new year. It's a new me. It's a new Pat G. Cyclone.
The Turnbuckle Talk Radio podcast is brought to you by Gear Network and ShopGear.com. The Turnbuckle Talk Radio podcast introduction was done by Trevor Dugan. The Turnbuckle Talk Radio podcast is hosted by Ish Cyclone Jones and Patrick Ganchusky. The Turnbuckle Talk Radio podcast is edited and produced by Patrick Ganchusky and John Cimino. The Turnbuckle Talk Radio podcast can be listened to on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spreaker, and any other podcasting format. If you wish to like or follow us here at the TTRP, you can go to Facebook.com/Turnbuckle Talk Radio Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Turnbuckle_talk, or if you'd like to get in contact with us, you can email us at TurbuckleTLKtalk@gmail.com.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.